Hello, and welcome to Pieces of Pat Paints. Good morning from all the way out here in the fabulous Oklahoma in the USA. We've been working on this giant model. This guy is so big. It is Godfrey from the Elden Ring series. If I turn my light on, I'll probably have a better light. It's much brighter. I can find that silly cord. Woo! Yeah, that'll help bring a little more light on him. So we've gotten a lot of stuff done here, and he's still got a ways to go. I did glue him all on there, so he's on. And now we want to get the base done next, so that we can glue it to the base, and that way we can, when we're moving it around, it doesn't have a chance of like falling out of the base. This thing's got some pretty long pegs in it. So, I mean, you can see his platform shoes. He's rocking him. So, I want to make sure, I want to get the base done next, so that the base is then attached to it, and then we can move around, and then we'll move down to the arms and stuff. I also still need to, I just need to make this choice, pull the trigger, and figure out what I'm going to do about this arm. I'm really probably leaning towards printing one off, but, you know. That would mean I'd have the file in case I ever wanted to paint it again. I have to look and see what the cost of it would be to have a printer's license on it, so we could sell them. That'd be cool. Be nice. Anyway, this one was bought off Etsy, so whoever sold this piece to my client, they have a printer's license, so that means we can do business on the prints, and that's kind of how that works. Other things are a little like, if you buy anything retail and stuff like that. Oh, good morning, Mr. McBeardsley. Love to see you, sir. What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, it's gone. Oh, we were talking about print license and stuff like that, and how it works. So if you're buying things retail, then that person had the license to sell it to you, and now it's your property, and if you want to buy, trade, and sell it, that is your business. Now, printing stuff for, like, different, using the old 3D printer stuff back there, those things, when you buy the license to print it, you may not have the license to sell said print. So there's like a difference between the commercial license and like a regular license. There's a difference. So you yeah, I'd have to look and see, but I'm leaning towards printing it. I almost tried to send the maker a message and be like, brother, can I just like have the arm piece, like this one little guy? I just need this piece to get done, and see if he'd just send me the one file. But I feel like it might be a bit nice just to have the whole thing. It's been a really cool lion, and it'd be neat to see the lion part printed clear, because if you printed it clear, then I don't know, depending if we could get it to print out clear properly, and to get it to glue together right without it looking like it has pegs and stuff inside of it, because you don't want it to look like that, because then it'll look fake. I don't know. There's a lot. It's been such a cool project. I almost wouldn't mind painting it again, have another run at it, if somebody wanted to buy them. So we'll have to look at the printer's license. Either way, we're gonna get that hand in there, and we're gonna get that done, and then we're gonna get this guy wrapped up, because there's not much left. Whoop! I'm throwing things on the ground. There's not really that much left to do, comparatively speaking. We're in the home stretch, so to speak. So let's go to the big old tall paint camera here. He's way up there. Whoop, make me small. There we go. It's way up tall. You can kind of see him from there. That's good. So yeah, it's all glued on now. So I'm really happy with that choice down there, because it really, it's going to help give the bottom of the model a little bit more of a look. You can see it a little bit better from this side. I should have done that when I had the camera up. But now it's got a deal there, and it's got a deal there, and it flows off, and it works really, really well. We are going to take them, and we're going to very gently set them down over here. That stuff always makes me nervous. Moving him around. That's why I'm excited about getting this base done, so we can get him put down on the base. Because that will make me a whole lot less freaked out when I'm moving around. Oh, I did get my warriors in, so I started working on some Tyranid warriors. For those of you who follow the Warhammer stuff, with these guys, once I get these guys a little bit closer to snuff, I mean, they're kind of ready. I guess I could play with them now. It wouldn't be... I've seen worse painted minis on the table. But I'm gonna try and set up a game for tomorrow, and because all I got to do is do their heads and throw them on there, and literally this army is at least painted to the point where it's playable. It's not painted all the way up to what I want it to be, but it's at least painted up to battle ready, so to speak. I don't know why I took that out of there. That was ridiculous. I'm a little tired today. I was up pretty late, and then I woke up this morning with this crazy cramp in my leg. Man, getting old sucks. I had this crazy cramp. Probably dehydrated. Had a lot of fun at Whitewater, but I'm probably dehydrated. And here's some water. Salute. I haven't drinking any coffee this morning because I'm trying to rehydrate before I dehydrate, because coffee definitely counts against you. It will dehydrate you. Okay, we're gonna make this a little wet. Get it pretty thin. And this base is gonna be so easy compared to everything else. Everything else is so hard. Beardsley says, I can't wait for payday tomorrow. Really want to pick up some Pokemon booster packs. Pulled a decent card early this week. Got a card worth $4, which is the same price as a pack. That's pretty crazy, man. Pokemon is wild. Like Magic, buying and trading of cards, you can actually get to a point where you're selling the cards that are buying the next cards to sell more cards, and I watched guys make money doing that stuff. Selling Pokemon, making money. It's pretty crazy. Not that much difference than buying and selling, I guess, in art and stuff like that. Kind of just depends on what the market value of it is. So I try to keep coming back across it in different directions to kind of keep moving that paint around, so it won't dry quite in streaks. And you can see how it's kind of pulling itself down. Maybe the best angle for the camera. There we go. That's a little better. Nick Beardsley says, I get these shorts about people going to these conventions and setting up, doing some willing and dealing, trading cards, selling duplicates, etc. Looks like fun. Nice. Man, I would love to take this show if this ever became like a popular thing. I'm not counting on that, but if it did, it would be cool to be able to like travel the circuits and paint live. Be like, oh, we're gonna play and we're gonna be at this con. We're gonna play and paint and check this out and just be live from a con. It'd be a lot of fun. Those things get expensive. just getting in those cons can cost you a ton of money. Maybe when these kids retire. I mean, not retire. Maybe when these kids go to college, retire. What am I talking about? I'm not going to be alive when they retire. That's funny. Don't worry about it if you're going to get these logs. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to paint them this color too. Just paint the whole thing. We're going to come back and pick those details out later. And I got a one of my favorite old nappy brushes so I can ruin it. Doesn't matter if I grind it into things. Really able to get this color kind of saturated. We're going to wash the ever-living heck out of this thing. To get it to have the right color. Looking at I was watching the fight scene again for, I don't know, probably the 100th time. It's hard to keep track. It's a lot. Because like you can't really play that game and watch exactly what everything looks like. You're just watching them fight that thing. Like they're way too busy trying to fight it. There's no way I could play this game and then like observe what the tile looks like. So, you know, we use screenshots and we use video of other people playing. I'll use that as kind of a derp way to do things. Beardsley says, would be cool to do some live painting or even some classes on painting figures, teach people how to put them together and all that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we wouldn't want to be live the whole time, but you know, we could do definitely like it would be fun to do that like a live show from a booth. And yeah, just have kind of like a painting section where we do that, where it's either lives or we're teaching people or you know, whatever. Who knows? Gotta get popular first. That means getting the algorithm to figure us out, which it feels like we're slowly getting there. We've been sliding up the subscribers things. Last month was one of our best months. It's hard to measure it against the month I got most of the Facebook people on. Because I got, you know, went and did a big blast and we got a bunch of people on from my Facebook profile. But the thing I realized about that is that did not actually help my algorithm much. What it did was just give me the subscribers to help me jump over into having enough subscribers to hit the place where the financials open up. Because you have to have, what is it? It's 500 subscribers and 3,000 watched hours in a year. 500 subscribers, 3,000 watch hours. So, and then you qualify for super chats and things like that. And what happened is I got all my friends from Facebook to jump on and like the page and da. But the thing is that most of them aren't into this, so the algorithm didn't know what to do, and it has been desperately trying to figure out where to send me ever since. because I'm not like what I wasn't like what a lot of those folks that had subscribed to my channel are typically interested in. So the computer was like, what the scratch? Hey, it's Rasmus. Hello, sir. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. So, but yeah, now that we're kind of getting targeted into people that enjoy games and things like that, it's cranking up our subscriptions. So we're moving. The subscriptions are finally moving. They got stagnant for a while, and it's actually kind of defeating. You're like, oh gosh, I guess I'm just gonna be stuck here forever. I'm not going anywhere. But then it starts kind of cranking up, and you're like, oh, this is great. So you guys, whatever you're doing, guys, keep doing it. It's awesome. Morning, Dave. I gotta remember to send you that figure. But I'm working on some parts to go with it. Have you put Shrosh on Godfrey? I have. I have. Hold on, let's. We get to do what we want. We get to do what we want. We know. Bring the big camera out. It's so much easier to see him on this big camera. So, ooh, there we go. Because he's so flippin' big. Just massive. Lean out of its way. Looks great. So huge. I wish I had a little bit more light on my computer now. Although that it wouldn't work well when we're shooting regular stuff. But yeah, it turned out great. I'm really excited. So we're doing the base now. Come on, Lisa there. So we're doing the base now, and then I've got the axe and stuff like that. So his axe is, here's the axe head. I gotta shrink this back down. There we go. So I've got the axe. This is the axe head, and his arms and stuff to put on there. Oh, this isn't for Dave. This is for Mike. Michael. He never really he watches, but he doesn't. He's usually a very busy guy. Dave is an old friend of mine from back when we were in high school, and I did a piece for him as a little bartender, which I gotta send to him. But I want to get this done first. I have a bar for him, so I want to get this done first before I send him. And I've been so busy with Warhammer, I haven't had a chance to work on any of my other projects. So, but this is, you know, a bartender needs a bar. I'm not gonna send him out without a bar. But anyway, I think so. I'm gonna try to get the colors right. Yes, Mike does have a sturdy shelf. We're gonna actually, when it's all said and done, or maybe not even when it says done, probably here in a couple more of them, we're gonna go and hang out over there and get a look at the shelf, because it's gonna he's gonna have several of these things, because we were talking yesterday, and so we've got this to go, and then we have Ronnie, and then it was what do you say? Millennia and Radon for sure, and probably Princess, or not Princess, but Queen America. Yeah. So we've got at least those many coming. I'd like to see how, you know, with this DLC, there's bound to be some more popping up. So I'm sure he's gonna be like, ooh. It's about how many he's gonna fit on the shelf. So if he can, as many as he can find room for on that shelf, he's gonna put it on there. And you'd actually, one of the things you'd be surprised about is how light some of this really is. Like, it's not like when you're dealing with a marble bust or something like that. Beardsley says, has Mike talked about doing other figurines from other franchises, or just interested in Elden Ring for now? Just mostly Elden Ring for now. He definitely likes the other franchises and stuff like that, but I don't. He keeps me so busy with all this stuff. I don't ask for more work. I'm just excited when there is more work, and I just keep making it. And keep excelling at bringing the idea of these creatures to life. I feel like I do a pretty good job of capturing the essence. DLC added a bunch of cool bosses, seems to be the consensus with our very esteemed panel. Rasmus says DLC added a bunch of cool bosses like Mesmer, Relania, Divine Beast, Dancing Lion, Romania, Red Ontux, Electric Boogaloo, and Meter. Yeah, I want to see that Divine Beast, Dancing Lion looks really cool. I kind of want to do that one. I ain't gonna lie. It's sick. Oh man. You would love to paint Mantra. I gotta look that one up. I like painting them all. So far I haven't had one. I even liked Radagon was a little plain. But even that one was cool. Like, it was a cool model, and it provided its own challenges in the end, and it wasn't just like, it wasn't a run in a park, you know. We're probably gonna turn this into more of a dirt color later, but we want to layer that up. So we're just gonna do this whole top of this base in this Naples Yellow to kind of give us a starting point. So we can start laying these things on. The tile that's on the ground for where he's at looked very worn and stained. So we're gonna try and capture that. It was hard to. It doesn't really have like a much of a color to it. It's like a sandstone tile. It's mostly reflecting the colors around there's like a hue that everything kind of seems to be washed in, and that's kind of like a brownish gray. It's a very interesting color. Mater has a lot of cool yellows, oranges, reds going on with him because of his head's neat. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. So Rasmus is talking about remembrance, specifically refers to Mater as a daughter of the greater will. Are we talking about different Maters? I don't know. Don't ask me, guys. You guys are the lore guys. I don't know. It seems like these people kind of like, some of them maybe even almost asexual, so they could be both daughter and son at the same time. They kind of have that. Some of it has that Slaneshi vibe, where they call it the Prince of Pleasures, but they also refer to it she who thirsts. So it's like it's both man and woman. Now these top ones, I want to kind of leave this a little bit pale, but these top flow, I think they're probably sandstone. So we're going to go ahead and give it a much deeper, we're going to probably give it a second run. We only need to make sure we get this one done for the basics. And really the highlights. Don't worry about getting too far into crevices. Sir Beardsley says, I haven't looked at the lore for the DLC bosses, so I'm woefully ignorant. Well, I mean, yeah, at least you're able to admit those things, sir. That makes a big difference. Some people will just go on and fight about it. Like, but you're wrong, though. Yeah, big props for stepping up and admitting you may not know. Because Rasmus, didn't you say had you already beaten the DLC completely, or was it just part of it? I remember you saying something about it the other day. This thing is huge. Giant base. I managed to get to the final area, but I'm not ready for the final boss yet. Oh, there you go. Crazy cat. Scared every little snot out of me. Whew, that's a lot of painting right there. It's a big surface. Probably would have been much faster to hit that with an airbrush. But, again, like I said, they're super loud. For one, doing it on the show, it's just not. You wouldn't be able to hear anything I said. You would just hear, wah. Remember, don't use your good brush to do this. You want to use a brush that you can really kind of grind around. Alright, now we're just going to go back over all the stones. I'm not worried about the roots or any of that stuff now. I just want to get my stones done. We don't need to worry about getting too far down into cracks. But all this needs to be pretty superficial. Surface level. Almost like a dry brush. Not the most exciting thing to watch painting, but it's alright. I was always taught by you and other chefs, just own up to mistakes we make, because if we dance around them, the whole, yeah, makes a whole mess in the kitchen. Man, yeah, it's better just to be like, hey, I fucked this up, because like in kitchens it can just go horribly wrong so quickly because somebody tried to hide a mistake, and it's like, ugh. If you just said something, we could have done something else. We could have made better choices. Try to teach my kids that shit too. It's just better that way. It's better to just go ahead and be like, I don't know, or admit you don't know something is definitely like the way to help get to know something. Like, I've never understood people that won't learn. Hikari, hey, I'm back. I wasn't feeling well the last couple days. Now I'm back. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Did you make it out to the, you were going to a festival, if I remember correctly. Did you at least get to go out to that? Maybe that's why you don't feel well. Maybe you ate something you shouldn't have. Festival food is sometimes not the best on your stomach. But I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. I will have to pull the lion back up. He's all done now. Yes, I got to go to the festival. It was fun. Awesome. That's the good stuff. My Pearson says, my mom is having me season up some wings, toss them in the oven. What should I toss on them? I don't know. I don't know what you have. I mean, I keep chopped up lemongrass in my freezer and a bottle of sweet chili and soy sauce. That's what I would do. But I don't know that you have that sort of stuff just laying around your house. You could always do like some sort of citrus and herb. That's always good. Everybody likes citruses and herbs. Easy winner. Garlic. Always garlic. Everybody likes garlic. And I do it at my house, but my mom's house is like they buy like 30 brands of random rose. Well, start turning around the bottles and reading them, my friend, because that's your only hope. Maybe they got one called Obi-Wan Kenobi, because that's your only hope. They probably got something in there that's at least alright. They want some wings. I mean, it's not like you're cooking for the Tsar of Russia or something. You don't have the King of England coming to dine tonight. You'll be alright. Just keep working those lines out the best you can. We got a lot to go here on this thing, as far as some glazes and more dry brushes and picking out details and stuff, so don't get too worried about it. But you do want to try and minimize the effect of your strokes the best you can. And the thinner you put stuff on, the less chance you're going to have of seeing the brush stroke. Just as a general rule. But if you keep your brush strokes going in different directions as you work through the model, it will help kind of disguise your brush strokes, especially after all the washes and all that stuff gets settled in. And you think it's sufficiently yellow, you can start adding in some washes. This is our raw umber. Use this on a lot of stuff. And when you get it super light, super thin with some water, it will just drop right in our cracks. And just kind of pulls the color of the floor right out for us. Or the textures of the floor. Rest my hand for a second. It's getting a little numb. I hate that sensation. It's crazy. One of those strange things that never happens when you're a kid. As you get older, you're like, why does this keep happening? And then you start going, oh, yeah, I'm getting old. Like, yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen to me. So do all men who live to see such times. I was hear Gandalf in my head when I started thinking about being old. And I spent a little too much time with my head in Lord of the Rings. I had the same birthday as Bilbo and Frodo, so it's like I grew up with those stories. Well, I won't tell you what year. We don't need to discuss that. I'm talking about how old I am. I often think I have no memory of this place. Yeah, man, that one happens to me all the time. You're like, oh, I'm pretty sure I've been here before, but oof, I can't remember anything about it. That's real. That's real. Don't worry about this. If this is a little heavy-handed, it's the base. It's actually a really good place to practice your techniques if you're not really comfortable with using glazes and washes and dry brushing. The base is a great place to start. People very rarely really pay that much attention to the base unless it's super exotic, and since he's so flashy, you're really not going to see much of the base. You're not going to look at it really. So the best thing to do is to practice on that place, you know, or like underneath the subject or whatever. Get some practice in where people won't see it, and that way it'll build your confidence up for the places that they will. Because that's what a lot of stuff's about, guys. Just confidence. Confidence and patience are very important. I definitely this YouTube thing takes a lot of patience. And it's so funny. My friend Charlie has a car deal, and like he started just a little while ago. And he just exploded. But his group is it's an easier niche to find people who are interested in it. There's a lot of people who are into cars, old cars, new cars, just cars in general. You know, and he's got the big sweeping drone footage of the Roadster flying down the road in Oklahoma. So, you know, you can't beat that. But a lot of people might see that and they would be like, oh man, they're gonna give up because this guy got way ahead of you so fast or whatever, you know. And that's you're not gonna get anywhere tonight. You gotta be patient. Ooh. stuff in that magenta. Oh. My whole hand's getting where I'm starting to drop stuff. Oh, even more raw umber. This tube's almost used up. I love getting to the end of paint tubes. It makes me excited. Oh, that's a little thick, isn't it? Do you have pets? I do. I have 2 cats. They come on from time to time. One of them is a Siamese. Her name is Octavia. She's something else. Her full name is Empress Octavia Two Shrimps, ruler of the known universe. Is her full title and name. And she is very special. She also is a murderer. So nothing lives in this house that isn't here by the grace of Octavia. Which is great because we live kind of out in the country. We're on acre and we got like a big forest behind us and stuff like that. So I need a mouser. I need that stone cold killer here. And then we have her bumbling protege, Butt. Butt is the kid's cat. Number 1. He's kind of I think he may just be a perpetual kitten. I don't know that he's ever gonna get like past kitten stage. He's such a goofball, and he's such a contrast to Octavia. He's he's something else. And then the oldest pet we have is Old Blue Dog. And she is a blue pit and terrier, I think. Or what is that? American pit. I mean, she's a mix of pits, but mostly blue. Okay, so she looks like a Payne's gray. She's a Payne's gray colored dog. Kind of a bluish gray. And she's a big sweetheart, but she she's also a pit bull. So, don't get too close to her kids without her permission. She'd get real angry. All right. I had a cat. Sadly, he died a bit over a year ago. He was 20 years old. That's pretty good for a cat. 20 years. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. It's sad when they move on. But I always think of, we give our pets great lives, and they want nothing more than to just be in it. And you see what it's like when pets don't have owners and what that looks like, and it hurts that they have to leave us so soon, but it also, you can have some solace in knowing that you gave them their best life. at least hopefully you did. I'm sure you did, Hikaru. You seem like a very nice person. But some people, they don't give their pets the best lives. Oof. Yeah, I did hit that magenta. Look at that. I knew it was going to. That's okay. We're going to paint all this stuff like black and then gold and stuff later. Thinking like a black on the inside with a gold rim. Or bronze rim. Look nice. Right now I'm just kind of spreading excess stuff around so it'll dry instead of pool. Checking out some of this, making sure we got it right. We'll come back in and paint a lot of this. A little bit different color, but it is nice to have the kind of the highlights done by that. I adopted him from the shelter. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've gotten cats are, most of my cats just kind of appear. It's really weird. It's like all the dogs I've gotten, like I've gone and gotten a dog, you know what I mean? But like all the cats, it's like, hey man, I've been hanging out in your garbage can for like a couple of days. Is it cool if I crash in here? And you're like, hey, yeah, come on in. And that's kind of my experience with cats. Except for Octavia. She, a friend of mine had found her and was like, hey, does anybody want this cat? And I was like, yeah, oh my god, I love this, I love it. She was such a beautiful little kitten. And so I was like, yeah, I'll take her if you'll bring her out to me. This is back when I owned a restaurant. So I was like, bring her out to me, I'll get you something to eat. And her and her boyfriend showed up, and they were like, yeah, hey, here we go. And I love it. What do you guys want to eat? And they both wanted shrimp pastas, and that's why her name is Octavia Two Shrimps, because I traded 2 pastas to get that cat. Broccoli is also adopted. That is Beardsley's cat. She's the happiest cat I've ever seen. She was a little happy girl from day one. Yeah, Octavia has always been kind of like, I don't know, queen bee. She's definitely that kind of cat. It's pretty funny. All right. Just add a little bit of extra stuff. Akari says, once a cat always come to my house, but some days she never came back. Later I found out she went to my friend's house, and now she lives with them. Yeah, cats, man. That's a cat right there. You don't really own cats. They kind of just chill with you, and you're their person or you're not. And Octavia's person is my wife, Kristen. That is Octavia's person. She likes me enough, and she'll sleep with me sometimes and stuff like that. But if I left, she probably wouldn't care as much as if Kristen left. Like, when I go and run an errand, she's not standing at the door mewing. Kristen is definitely her mommy. Kind of putting a little bit of a thicker coat of this burnt umber on. where the dirt is, and we're gonna add a bunch of different colors to this, so to kind of help this dirt kind of stand out. But for now, we definitely want it to be significantly darker than the tops. And we want to darken this up before we add our next wash. Some of this stuff, we actually want to pull that excess wash off a little bit. Because we want those stones to match the top stones. So we want a little bit of color, but it doesn't need to be a whole lot. It has a little bit of that Gorillaz vibe to it. We just need that guy talking about some weird, I don't know, heroin blues kind of music. I went down to the place the other day, had myself a Sunday, if that it was okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good at the lyrics writing unless I'm just being a goofball. But it sounds like something the Gorillaz would do. Just missing that guy who does the singing in it, and the occasional outburst of rap. I love the Gorillaz. Almost feel like the Gorillaz are like the spiritual successors to the Talking Heads. But without David Byrne being a complete drugged out asshole. Because that guy took way too much LSD. I don't think I was supposed to talk about that on YouTube, but whatever. I think we're past the point where they look at me. Oh man, I love cat stories. These are amazing. Broccoli would give any baker a run for their money. She's always making biscuits, especially little air biscuits. Broccoli likes killing me. She's always in my business and everything. She uses my girlfriend as a taxi, always asking my girlfriend to carry around the house. That's funny. Hikari said, my cat once ran into a tree and lost a tooth. He was kind of playing. That's funny too. Oh man, lost a tooth running into a tree. Poor kitty. Poor kitty. I used to have a cat when I was growing up named Thomas that was like a prize fighter. He would love to go out at night and pick fights. And he would come back with all sorts of scrapes and bites and craziness. We'd have to pin him down and like put medicine all on his ears and face where he got bit. The cat was crazy. That cat, you felt like he lived our house because that was his turf. You can see though, it's definitely going to be that's going to help with that transition into that tile. And we're going to make this a little bit more like a reddish brown when it's all said and done, but these undertones have got to come in first. I'm baking up these wings right now. My heart really wants some well, you know. I don't think I've eaten anything today. My eating schedule got kind of whacked yesterday, and haven't really got back on schedule yet. Ate like late lunch and then late dinner, and then I woke up and skipped breakfast. Another set of those printer flaws right there. I have major respect for Asian dishes. They're very creative. Gave me a real challenge. Asian dishes are tough for me to make the first few times. Yeah, that's a lot. A lot of that's because you grew up with European style cooking, so like it's more familiar. If you spend a lot more time in Asian kitchens with actual Asian folk, you'll really it becomes easy because they're able to kind of break down the basics in a different way, in more of a cultural way that makes way more sense than any textbook or recipe you could ever read. Speaking from experience, so like when it's just, there's some things that when you grow up doing it, and it's part of your culture in life, you just have a different kind of idea of how it works. And when you can get to hang out with, you know, like somebody's grandma from Korea, you really get a way better understanding of how that food is really made, you know, deeper than the recipe. And we all know that instinctually for European food, because, you know, us folks, we all grew up eating mostly European influenced food here in America. So it makes more sense to us in our brain because it's more familiar. Really gotten really good at washing rice. That's part of it. You gotta learn how to treat those. It's those little itty bitty things that you just don't think about necessarily right off the top of your head. Really thinking we're gonna go probably with this burnt sienna. I'm gonna test a little bit of it. Test this. That's going to give us the red we want. So we're going to do that burnt sienna on the top. We are at an hour. I think we want to drop this on real quick. And then I'm going to sign off. I got to work on these. Tyranids. Trying to get a game in tomorrow. I'm from an Asian country. I can confirm we are very good at washing rice. Yeah. Well, that's one of those things where Europeans, folks, they don't wash rice at all. Also for the store, I bought mayo, QP, disappear. Well, so like you can just make QP. That's easy. Just replace the vinegar in your mayonnaise recipe with rice wine instead of like normal vinegars or cider vinegars. That's all you have to do to make QP. But I like rice vinegar better too, honestly. Yeah, my mentor was from Laos. So one of my mentors, one of my main mentors. So like I got to kind of learn firsthand, because you get to go to his house occasionally and learn how to do stuff over there. And it is, when you learn how to do it from like the cultural perspective, not just the I'm reading a recipe or I went to this class and this chef showed me. Yeah. It's so different when you learn it on a cultural level. I love that we get down international around here. It's my favorite. It's my favorite part about the live. Is how international it is. I love talking with everybody too. It's so good. But it makes it cool that we're all sitting here talking from completely different sides of the world. I think Rasmus is in Europe. We're in the Beardsley and I are in the U.S. Hikari is in Asia. It's so cool. We had a guy on from Poland the other day. Had a couple people on from Brazil from time to time. So neat. That's what the internet's for. Although I do like the memes. That's not what the internet's for. It was supposed to be for connecting with people. We don't have to worry too much about any kind of overspill here. We're probably going to come back and line a lot of these panels down in the end. Add just a little bit of extra darkness to them. But this is kind of going to have that reddish color that the ground does. Might not be exactly right, but it's going to be pretty close. It looked like there were some leaves and stuff on there. Might check out and see if they've got some autumn looking leaves. Or maybe we'll go get some some yellow paper, and I'll show you guys how to make some. Because you can always just make your own. I bet you by now they've got like a hole punch or something you can buy that like punches it out of paper for you. And just makes little tiny leaves. For scrapbooking or something like that. But yeah, if that color gets into your dirt, it's not going to make that much of a difference. We're going to add some burnt umber to that dirt later. Anyway, so Cardi says it helps me learn English. That's awesome. I have a ton of European friends that I game with all the time. They're from the Nordic region, quite a few of them. I have some British, some Scottish, one in France, just all over. Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool how, for me, it's really cool because I remember when it just wasn't like this. You couldn't, heck, just to call somebody was going to cost you an arm and a leg. All right, let's bring ourselves down to full Steve-O vision. There we go. We'll put this back on there. It won't. Him standing on it isn't going to affect anything, so I'll get him back on there. I don't think Hikari's seen this. Oh. Yeah, he's looking splendiferous. I need like a turntable. Yeah, that ground's gonna look just about right, and it's really gonna help match into the colors of our tree that we did, which is what we really want to do. I'm so happy with the lion. I was a little intimidated by it when I first got the piece. It's like, oh, that lion's got to be so on point that people, because it's the focal point of the model. I mean, he's huge too, and he's awesome, but it's not that lion's the focal point. You can even see its golden ratio, like, you know, it starts here and it spins out and gets bigger as it goes. So, alright, we'll put him down over there for now. We'll come back tomorrow and work a little bit more on that base. It's got to dry before I can do anything else with it anyway. So there's all that. Let's see, Mick Beardley say, I've met tons of Australians while gaming in my time on Twitch. Australian people are really cool for the most part. If it wasn't like living life on a hard mode down there in the outback. I wouldn't mind living there, right? Well, you know, every place is kind of dangerous, and you'd be surprised at how much like city there is in Australia. Everybody, like, it's not just the outback. Like that's part of Australia, but there's some big cities and some pretty urbanized stuff, especially along the coastal areas. You got a lot more urbanization. The Aussies are cool. They know how to have a good time. They definitely, they don't stand on ceremony very often. It's like, let's have a good time. So, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, man, I love international stuff. It was one of the things I liked about being in Las Vegas. Like all the different chefs and cooks out there, it was all international. So they're all from everywhere. So cool. Awesome. Well, we're still on the quest for 250 subscribers. We're at 225 now. So we got 25 left. We're gonna get to my first big like subscriber goal, and then on to the halfway to the mega subscriber. Well, the big one for me, my first big deal, because at 500 we can start churning our way to getting the watch hours that we need for super chats and monetization. So that'll be step one. And then after we hit that goal, then I think we have to get to 2,000 subscribers and a whole mess of time. But yeah, we can get to where we'll have like ads and stuff like that. That'd be cool. YouTube pay for my stuff. That'd be nice. Oh, let's see. McBeardsley says, if it wasn't for culture shock to me that they never taught us in school, the southern hemisphere was opposite weather from the northern hemisphere. Imagine summer during Christmas. I mean, make any difference to me. It's Oklahoma, you know. Shoot, it might be 90 degrees on Christmas Day here. You never know. Did you know that people in Japan eat KFC for Christmas? I had heard that. I didn't know if that was one of those things where they talk about it like being a thing, and it's not as big a thing as it is. But it wouldn't surprise me. KFC is an interesting choice. It's tasty. People like it. I knew that. It's crazy. That's fun. Yeah, it's other people's cultures are cool, man. You never know what you're gonna find out or run into, because it's just different and it's fun. And that's, you know, honestly, that's what makes humanity so cool, is that, like, it is this big planet, and we all kind of, humanity spread out to all these different places, and we developed all these different deals and ideas and culture as we spread out. But then as we came together, like, those cultures are now being shared, and we can learn from each other's cultures, and we can kind of start, I don't know, maybe bringing a full human culture together that honors everyone else's cultures at the same time, and, you know, adds to the idea of us all being human. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just waxing a little too philosophical there. And that's what happens when, you know, you guys run me late. I start ranting at the end of them. Anyway, you guys are amazing. I love you so much. And I love these little shows we do, and I really enjoy having people on. I'm so glad to hear that you're feeling better, Akari. Everybody knows that Japanese food is so special, but they also eat stuff everybody else eats. Yeah, actually, okay, so fun story from my dad. When he was cooking in Japan, he opened up a restaurant called Studebaker's over there, and then a couple other things he did over there. And all the Japanese chefs wanted to learn how to make barbecue sauce and chicken fried steaks. Like, chicken fried steak was the big one. They were just like, no. We want to know how to make it like on Route 66, like diner, like real. We don't want like a fancy chef version of this. We want like the American road diner version of it. And my dad was like, seriously? Okay. And that's what he taught him. He taught him how to make this, like, you know, barbecue stuff and diner food, because it's just not. And it's to us, it's so like, there's a diner right down the street. I mean, hell yeah, I could walk there, and I could go eat that stuff right now. And to us, it's just commonplace. But over there, it's super different, and it's an exotic thing. That's so cool. I love that stuff. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta stretch out. My back's starting to hurt. I've been sitting in this chair too much this week, working on getting this Tyranid army together. And then hopefully we have a game tomorrow. I'm gonna get to go play. I can make diner food in my sleep. Yeah, pretty much. So awesome. Well, you guys have a great day, and we're gonna catch you tomorrow. And then yeah, that's about all I got. Have a good one. Bye.